What is going on, guys? Drew here, bringing you another review on You Can't Be in a Rom-Com with Your Childhood Friends. And finally, we get introduced to the fourth waifu of the series. Now, I gotta say, I personally don't know that this one has the most possibility, but it is nice to have someone who's athletic, who is different, and just overall a stereotype that you don't want to root against, but you know doesn't have a chance. Let's just be honest. But I do enjoy it. But without further ado, guys, let's get to it. So we start off with seeing a little mini date between Runako and AU, both of them having a little bit of time together. And I like it because Runa didn't really have a chance to be at the festival due to family obligations. She couldn't. So, understandable there. And so, these two being able to spend some time together, I thought was nice, kind of necessary, and I enjoyed it. So, it was nice to see these two together, especially the little comment that Runako actually says about how she feels like she's always in a rom-com, obviously talking about being with him. And you gotta just appreciate the fact that she's always direct. She may look like a klutz, be a bit ditzy, but at the same time, she's like, she knows what she wants. Though I think that maybe she's got lesser of a chance, more of a chance than our fourth protagonist, but less of a chance than the other two. And that's where probably is going to be the most difficult for our guy here. But I do enjoy it. I thought that was fun. But we then get to see our fourth girl getting into it. And she's all buddy-buddy with AU. In fact, she's also seeing Shio and seeing Akari. And she gets all buddy-buddy with them. And they're all left confused. Like, who is this person? And it's kind of funny because, she's acting all nonchalant. However, when we see that they get to school, rumors are spreading that Shio and Akari and AU are all an item, that they're all going out with each other. And this, of course, is a rumor. And this was accidentally spread by the fourth girl. And so we see that AU kind of gets serious and he actually chooses to kind of confront them. And when he goes and tries to find her, he gets a little bashful, seeing that there's a girl that's from her class. Like, well, she might actually be at, in the club room. And so AU goes there and accidentally runs into her mid-change. And we see that, well, I don't want to say the girl is like kind of like shy about it. She's like, oh, it's you, just turn around, She's got that kind of personality that's just kind of like tomboyish, and it's your kind of typical tomboyish behavior. And we see how, she's, like saying, hey, what's up, and they talk. And that's when the truth kind of comes out. We find out that this person is named Haru, and she actually, was one of their friends back in the day. And we had seen this character already in the last few episodes, especially during the festival flashback. A little kid with like a baseball cap. And this was the problem. They thought that Haru was a boy because of the way she looked and the fact that, they had always done like sports together and acted a certain way. And turns out that she's like, no, I'm a girl. I've always been a girl. And, she's, actually, just been outgoing, and always wanting to do stuff that boys do because she also has brothers. So, with all that in mind, we see that, the misunderstanding gets a little cleared up, and we see that, like, okay, we understand. Like, this isn't what's actually happening. I'll set it straight. Apologies. But that doesn't satisfy her. In fact, she actually chooses to kind of challenge AU to go play a game with her. And if the winner, whoever wins, gets to admit the truth, essentially. And so we actually have them making faces, and in the end, he ends up winning, but not really. And we see that, he tells her the truth. Like, look, I do think of Akari and Shio more than friends, but I know nothing else could come of it. It's just me being me. And so I will say, I'm glad that he's actually being a little more honest, and, that's actually important. And she actually is like, okay, cool. And he's like, I'll help out. Even though he doesn't want her help, she's still inserting herself, and she asks them at the very end, because they get together and reuniting, and says, which one of you, what do you guys feel about AU in front of him? And then the episode ends. So it's kind of a wild ending for me.